If there was only one word to describe John Magda, it would be timeless. We may hear the phrase that nothing stays the same. With a few exceptions, that may be true. John Magda was a patriot, a leader, looked up to by those around him, loved his family, loved by his family, and a hero. John Magda is one of those exceptions, as you'll soon see why. John Joseph Magda was born on July 23, 1918 in Camp Taylor, Kentucky. His parents were John and Catherine Magda, who emigrated from Hungary in 1903. John met his wife-to-be, Mary Catherine, known as Kate Miller, in junior high school, where they were sweethearts. They both attended Western Kentucky State Teachers College. Kate planned to teach and John to be a coach. John was a natural athlete. He played halfback on the football team and also played baseball under the legendary coach E.A. Diddle. John's football coach said that he remembered John because he always stood out. He was the best dressed, always showed up looking good and ready to work. After graduating in 1940, John turned down a professional baseball contract to answer a greater calling. John enlisted in the U.S. Navy and in September 1940 became an aviation cadet. He completed flight training and was assigned to Fighter Squadron 8, based on the USS Hornet in August 1941. At the Battle of Midway in June 1942, after attacking 3 Japanese aircraft carriers in the Wildcat F-4, his wingman, out of gas, and John, also running out of fuel, ditched his aircraft to be with his wingman. His belief was that the two being together in their rubber life rafts had a better chance of being found. They drifted in shark-infested waters for 5 days before being rescued in a PBY 300 miles from ditching. Magda was well admired by his fellow crew members. By this time, John was on his way to being a parent, and he liked to play craps aboard the carrier. The guys on the carrier made John a medal. It consisted of planes, a man in a lifeboat, baby bottle, and the number 1 in the center, and dice that said, always. Magda was assigned to carrier USS Saratoga in March 1943. It was during his time there that Magda became an ace. Credited with shooting down 5 Japanese fighter planes and destroying at least 7 more on the ground, he was 23. For his service, he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Medal, and 2 Gold Stars for heroism and extraordinary achievement as a pilot and leader of a fighter plane division. In 1944, John returned to the United States and was promoted to lieutenant commander in October 1945. He continued in the Navy after the war, and in March 1948, he was assigned to the USS Boxer as a member of the 1st Jet Squadron to operate on board an aircraft carrier. That same year, he set a speed record in a Navy jet fighter by making the 1,050-mile flight from Seattle to San Diego in 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds. The average speed was 485 miles per hour, with a top speed recorded at 550 miles an hour. In September 1949, John was assigned to fly with the Blue Angels, the Navy's elite flight exhibition team, flying the F-9 F-2 Panther jet. He became its commander in January 1950. With the outbreak of the Korean War, John was pleased to learn that his Blue Angels team would stay together. They were assigned to duty on the USS Princeton. By December of 1950, they had formed the nucleus of the newly established Satin Kittens of VF-191. The squadron immediately saw action. John wrote to his wife, Kate, "If I cannot talk about the romantic things, it is because I have to focus on war. If I could have gotten out of the plane today, I could have walked on the flak in the sky." On March 8, 1951, Magda was leading the attack on North Korean and Chinese installations at Tanchon. Chinese troops were at the end of the bridge and firing rounds. The attacking aircraft pulled up to the right and made a circle for the second pass when a huge flame erupted from the tail of Magda's plane. Wingman Ensign Richard Bradbury said to John, "Skipper, you're hit." John gallantly continued to carry out the attack, destroying several gun emplacements and inflicting severe damage on nearby rail installations. It was not until all his ammunition was expended that he turned his fiercely burning plane seaward in an attempt to avert capture and the possible compromise of his aircraft. The damage was too great, and his plane crashed into the sea, killing him. He was 33. John was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross for his heroism. In 2006, John was inducted into the prestigious Hall of Distinguished Alumni at Western Kentucky University. John and Kate had 2 children, Marnie and Dale. After John's death, Kate went back to school and fulfilled her plan of becoming a teacher. She was followed by her daughter, Marnie. Both received master's degrees and both became teachers. Son Dale followed his father and became a pilot. He had signed up to go fly in Vietnam, but instead was called by United Airlines to fill their need for pilots. He was with the company for 35 years. Whether the high school football team captain, hard-working student in college, ace jet fighter team commander in war, or Blue Angel commander, John Magda was a patriot, a leader, looked up to by those around him, loved his family, loved by his family, and a hero. For this, he is considered timeless. It is therefore fitting that John Magda be enshrined in the official Aviation Hall of Fame of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.